I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with pulverine.
In the history of casting, there are a number of people that were cast to a specific role, and no matter what happened in the future, the recasting, remakes, and such, no other actor could actually replace that perfect cast. Ryan Reynolds and the Deadpool character is just that type of casting. First, he fought for the role of Wade Wilson in X-Men Origin Wolverine, but had no creative say about the role or where the story went. And well, if you haven't seen the movie but read the Deadpool comics, you'll be in for a surprise. But from the bitter come the sweet, as the production on the solo movie of Deadpool was born from that particular movie. And although Ryan was not a part of the writing team, he had his hand in the cookie jar production-wise from the start. But is the movie any good? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe, like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Deadpool.
Fine! I only have 12 bullets, so you're gonna have to share.
Let's count them down.
Deadpool's story isn't a linear one. It starts off with a full action scene introducing this rogue anti-hero tearing up the streets looking for someone. And at the end of it, it rolls back to the beginning and introducing Wade Wilson.
And to tell it right, I gotta take you back to long before I squeeze this ass into red spandex.
Wade is a gun for hire. He's paid to intimidate certain people, relying on his military skills. After one particular job, he goes to his favorite bar and hooks up with Vanessa, the waitress, which leads into a long love affair. This relationship is tested when Wade finds out he's got terminal cancer and decides to take up an offer of a strange agent that offers a miracle cure.
And please don't make the super suit green or animated.
This miracle cure turns out to be a false pretense to create and enslave mutants, but it backfires. Wade is now imbued with a very special regenerative power that essentially makes him invincible, but it also made him considerably uglier.
You look like an avocado. Had sex with an older, more disgusting avocado.
Yeah.
Now that Deadpool is born, he is after the one man who created his mutation and can cure him.
Tell me where your boss is, or you're gonna die in 5 minutes!
I said it on another review, and I will probably say it again a lot when I manage to get into other comic book movie reviews. I'm not a comic book reader. When it comes to superhero, I'm very much a normie. Deadpool was not a character that I grew up with because it was not on TV or any films that I've seen, and I was not attached to his antics in the literature. But after X-Men Origin Wolverine came out, I started to hear murmurs about this Deadpool guy, and it was misunderstood and practically misused. But for me, he was a character that was unnecessarily overpowered and got defeated quite easily compared to his power levels. So when the first trailer of Deadpool came out, I was jazzed because this is exactly what I expected from Ryan Reynolds.
I'm touching myself tonight.
It has been forever that I've been saying that Ryan, and no offense here Ryan, has his most memorable roles when he's basically playing himself. He is mostly Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds in a Ryan Reynolds movie. Usually it's been toned down, but sometimes it's dialed to absolute 11 and you get characters like Hannibal Caine from Blade 3, Van Wilder, or Michael Bryce from The Hitman's Bodyguard. But even in movies like Green Lantern, The Proposal, or Definitely Maybe, you see glimpses of those Ryanisms. He just can't escape them. So in fact, it seems like Ryan was destined to play the merc with a mouth. He fits into this character like a glove. His antics, quick quips, and willingness to lambast himself and the people he works for just makes it a whole lot better.
Nobody's getting hurt.
That guy was already up there when I got here.
As I mentioned before, the story isn't told in a linear way. What I mean is, it goes back and forth in time to tell you where Deadpool is coming from, what are his struggles, both physically and mentally, why he's not really the goody two-shoes guy in the story.
Well, I may be super, but I am no hero. And yeah, technically this is a murder.
it is fitting that the production team aimed for the release date of Valentine's Day, and it is even mentioned in the opening scene. The love story of Wade and Vanessa is a crucial focal point in order to understand Wade's drive. He wants to get back with Vanessa, but he feels like she'll reject him because of his looks, which drives the search for Francis.
Why the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole?
Oh, that's because it's Christmas Day, Dopinder. And I'm after someone on my naughty list.
The great thing about this movie is its ultimate goal to make fun of superhero movies. It starts with Ryan's willingness to take the heat about the Green Lantern role, but then he goes further and makes fun of Fox's X-Men version, both versions.
Let us go talk to the professor.
McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are so confusing.
And the ultimate enemy is Wolverine, specifically Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And even more specifically, taking Ryan's own frustrations with his own character on that movie, using Hugh as the punching bag to make fun of that film. And all this using the real character of Deadpool.
I think we can all agree that shit just went sideways in the most colossal way. Well, maybe not the most.
And you might ask yourself, why? Because Deadpool in the comics is well known for breaking the fourth wall and talking straight to the audience. This allows the movie to keep it light and fun and to turn the comedy into absolute 11.
Her. Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
But looking at this top down, Deadpool is a superhero movie that is also half a parody of superhero movies. It is a superb action movie on its own, and it is a great love story. And every bit of it was turned up to the max to create a shocking experience. It was so out there, so graphic, and so violent, and it was so raw with its use of profanities, it's got an R rating by the MPAA, which for a normal superhero movie is quite the death knell. But Reynolds knew something that the other people did not know. If you don't compromise on the material and create one hell of a movie with good, solid stories, proper motivations, and stick to the source material of the character, it does matter, and it does show that people who made this film care about it. And as another great movie that I've seen recently said, if you built it, they will come. And they sure did. Up until the release of Deadpool 2, Deadpool was the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
It's a big house. It's funny that I only ever see two of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another X-Men.
Because it wasn't just a great movie, it had great marketing strategy that pushed the limits of what you can do and made it work. You went into this movie loving Deadpool without ever knowing Deadpool at all. I cannot recommend this movie enough. I watched it at least 15 times in the last 8 years, and those are the times that I actually remembered, and I've laughed every single time. The gamble to go R-rated paid off because the makers of this film had a chance to go and play with the material and create something really magical. And besides that, the movie knows what it wants of itself. When it's time to laugh, you laugh. When it's time for serious action, there's serious action, but also comedy in every single point of this movie. Even in the love story bits, there's a little bit of humor just to give us a grin, and it makes this movie so unique.
Do you have off switch?
Yeah, it's right next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch?
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.